When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising. Watching out for number one. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Today is just today and not tomorrow. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going. Easy now, you gotta get going. Easy now. Be hard working so you can be deserving of the rest that you are given. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Give a lot and live a little. Work with what you got. Where you're going, you can rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where
morning, everybody. This is Jeremiah's J-Man Monero. J-Man Speaks coming to you live and direct from our world headquarters here in the ROC, and we don't stop. That's The Rock. That's Rochester, New York. For those that don't know, now you know. Today is an exciting day because it's Friday. We love all days that end in Y, but especially Fridays because it's A-Team Fridays. Ask the experts anything meaningful Friday. And today we're talking about glossophobia. Glossophobia. And what that means, I actually had to look up what it was called before today because fear of public speaking, right? It actually affects over 73% of people in the universe. Okay? So put it in the chat wherever you're watching. Right now, I'm monitoring 3 different chats. I have YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook over here. So tell me where you're watching from, number one. And then tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like deathly afraid, like somebody couldn't drag you up there at gunpoint. How afraid are you of public speaking? Okay. So 1 would be like, when can I speak? When can I speak? Can I speak? Where's the mic? Let me grab the mic. That's like a 1. A 10 is like, no, please don't make me do it. I can't do it. You'll freeze right up. Okay. So I'll wait for you guys to comment and see what we got. Michael Ryan's on the Facebook. How are you, sir? Thanks for being here. So what I'm going to do is give you the tools, the tricks, the tips, the apps, the programs. There's no apps or programs. I'm going to give you the tools, tips, and tricks today. Number 1, all the different ways that you can speak publicly, just to kind of remind you of that, and then ways to get through it, right? If you don't know about me, I am a speaker. I've spoken thousands of times, but I also help instructors, trainers, and speakers be better. And then this past week, I was part of a leadership conference for the Metro Indianapolis Board of Realtors, where I trained some of their future leaders how to be better speakers. And it really occurred to me that everybody can benefit from this information, whether you're called upon to give a speech at your brother's wedding, or you have to speak during a meeting, or somebody's asking for volunteers, right? It's your opportunity as a business person to shine, period. Okay. Yeah, Michael Ryan. Absolutely. So Mike Ryan says, Toastmasters, even with me being a professional speaker, I got tremendous value out of Toastmasters. I really did enjoy because it's in a different way. It has you memorize your speeches, and they really focus on vocal variety and your filler words, and it really can go next level. So Mike Ryan says he's a 3 out of 10. Okay. James Jog from Plattsburgh. James, I feel like you're also a good speaker, but here's what I will say to you guys as somebody who has a lot of experience speaking. That anxiety, that fear never goes away. It never goes away. And that anxiety, I'll call it anxiety. It's nervousness, right? It's not always fear because you train your body fight or flight. Like I am to the point now where it's like, I still get the anxiety, but it's kind of like hopscotch, right? Where I'm going, you ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Let's go, right? That's the fight where some of you guys are going, and you flight. And you run away, okay? And so it's a matter of training yourself on first of all, that fight or flight response. But did I add Brian Anthony? Hey, Brian Anthony, what's up, man? Harlem World's in the house too. Military training, presentations, and speeches. Oh, awesome. Knowing your contact helps tremendously. All right, we're going to go right through it. Let's get right into the content. This will be divided into like 4 different parts for you guys because what I'm going to do is chop this up into shorter form content. And if you're not following me on Instagram, what I'm going to start doing with A-Team Fridays is they're going to be on here for 24 hours for the playback, and then they're going to expire off of Facebook, and then they're only going to be available on Instagram under a subscription. Okay, we are now offering subscriptions on our Instagram. It's a total of $4.99 a month if you want to get access to all the playbacks. That's going to be for the month of November only. After that, I don't know. We'll see. Could be much more. Might be $10. For me, it's not the money, guys. I just want you to get value out of it. And sometimes when things are free, you're not going to value it. I mean, I'm giving you guys so much content every week for free that I would charge if, somebody for an event, something like that, thousands of dollars. All right, let's go. Sharing your screen, scaring my screen. All right, leadership speaks. I'm going to make this a little bit, squares a little bit too big for me. 1 second. There we go. Go a little smaller like this, Jeremiah. All right. Fix that. Move this over like this. All right. So this is kind of like a formal presentation, but I welcome you to ask questions as we go, right? Because our objective is for you to have supreme confidence in everything that you do when speaking or when called upon to speak. The plan here in these less than 40 minutes, we're going to go over roles of speaker, nonverbal communication, impromptu speaking, the actual speech, and then we'll give you some additional tips for success. Next level type stuff, okay? The why, though, goes beyond, I'll show you just a brief clip of this video. This is probably the worst example of public speaking I've seen, and it's from a politician. Check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Starr County Republican Party Executive Committee, good evening. And thank you not only for your attendance, but for allowing me the opportunity to speak. My name is Phil Davison, and I am seeking our party's nomination for the position of Starr County Treasurer on November 10th tonight. I have been a Republican in times good, and I have been a Republican in times bad.
I can't, right? So that guy, maybe he had the votes until he opened his mouth, right? Until he started speaking, and just a ton of things that could be improved upon. I'm going to be nice about it. But, voice inflection, his level of, his tone didn't match at certain times what the way it should be to the audience that's receiving it. And then if I continued it further, he talks about his favorite quote is, and then he had to go back to his speech and reference and read what his favorite quote was. So a lot of things wrong. But for me, a great speaker equals a great business owner. Any way you look at it, like if you're in real estate and you go to your chamber of commerce, you go to your Rotary Club, you go to anywhere where you have to speak. It could be your committee members. It could be a real estate event. But any business person, when you have a chance to open your mouth, somebody's going to judge you and your business by how and what you say. So always see that as an opportunity to build your credibility, right? Build who you are. Because on the adverse side of that, there's been times where I'm like, I really admire this person. I'm really excited to hear them speak. And then their speech or the way they spoke let me down, right? Afterwards, I'm like, I don't know if I can follow that person as a leader or as a business person or even do business with them, right? I feel like how you do anything is how you do everything. So if somebody shows up and you knew you had the speech, and even if it's only a 5-minute speech and they show up and they don't have any notes, maybe they memorize it, but then they get there and you can tell that it's disorganized and they're going off the cuff and they're just really rambling on. Guess what? To me, that tells me that their business is disorganized and off the cuff and just rambling on. Okay. So your role as a speaker, you have a couple of different things you do. You can either share information, right? You can teach, demonstrate, or inspire, right? If you're teaching them something or educating them on something, you can influence them to do something. And then the last one is to entertain or engage, right? I was the MC yesterday for our local board. It's called Reboot Tech Conference and Trade Show now. And my goal there as an MC was to entertain and engage. I did not have to educate in any way. I did not have a formal presentation, but that's still a different skill set, and you have to pay attention to different things, right? As an MC, I'm looking at the crowd. I'm looking at the energy or feeling the energy. You can't look at the energy, but I guess I can after a while. I see the energy waves coming off of people. But I got to feel that, and then I have to engage and add and infuse energy and do the things that I have to do because that's what I'm hired to do, right? There's no education there going on. So let's start with, as business people, or if you're in real estate, or if you're a sales manager, or you're a team lead, or anything like that in any business on the planet Earth, right? There's meetings. And nowadays it's Zoom meetings, but hey guys, how many times have you hopped in your car, gone to an in-person meeting, and you're like, damn, that could have been an email. That could have been a 5-minute Zoom. The time that I invested to come here wasn't worth it because the meeting was not ran efficiently. The meeting wasn't ran in a way that made people feel good about taking time out of their schedule. So if you're seeing challenges with committees or organizations that you're a part of that is the leadership, and part of that is the person who's running things and speaking and facilitating at those meetings. So there's a formula that we use, and we didn't invent it. Somebody taught this to me when I was 19 years old. The RIM philosophy for meetings: recognition, information, motivation. So Mary Kay says there are two things people want more than money: recognition and praise, right? Recognition and praise. Mary Kay made bajillion dollars from this. I'm the Mary Kay level 2 person. Oh, I got the Mary Kay caddy, right? You know how much people had to sell to get that Cadillac, which was a lease of, like, maybe it cost Mary Kay $500-600 a month, right? So recognizing the people. So the beginning of your meeting would look like this. I might say, we'll stick here on the recognition. I might say, hey guys, for our next event, I'm really excited. We got Brian Anthony here as part of it. He actually, we're going to be doing a big event in Harlem, and he was nice enough between meetings to go check out 3 or 4 venues. And I just want everybody to recognize he took time out of his schedule to do that, and he kind of brought us back a list and took some videos and some photos. Everybody, let's give him, a round of applause, right? And wait, where's my round of applause? I got to do it over here. I don't have my thing hooked up right now. Here, we'll give you a cash register. That's better. Cha-ching! I'm going to go back up to my round of applause, right? And just recognizing just the little efforts, because when it's volunteer, people are doing that. Yes, they're doing it to make a difference. Here we go, normal applause. But recognize your people, right? Recognize the things that they do. That's the first part of it, because you start off on a positive note. Let's say I'm going to a recap meeting next week for the conference we just did yesterday. We're not going to start out that meeting with, hey guys, here's all the things we did wrong. Okay. All right. Like, I'm not going to start out with that. First, it's going to start out with, hey, let's recognize all the volunteers. Let's recognize and go through that. Then we get into the information side of the meeting, right? The information side of the meeting. Oops, sorry. Information side of the meeting, any information that you have. So again, to use the same kind of example, if we were doing an event, we're going to go through the data of the event. Here's what we have. We had 150 people register for the event. 127 showed up. It's typically 10%. Here's what we have. Here's what we have from the sponsors. We had this many sponsors. 110% of them showed up. That's great to plan for future events. And let's also look at the surveys and see what some of the feedback was that we got. And then let's get some information from the different members on the committee, right? Have it be organized. Go in with an agenda, stick to your agenda. Make sure you don't have people that are trying to, which could be me sometimes, sidetrack you. Be efficient in that meeting. And then at the end, motivation. Right at the end, it might be, hey guys, this is great. We had such a great event. Let's break records for next year. And actually, the best time to sell tickets to a conference is when the people leave that conference, right? When it's fresh in their mind. Give them like a early bird ticket price, so you can pre-sell tickets, because if they had a good experience and it's fresh in mind, boom, let's do that, right? Or let's get a sponsorship lined up with, first come, first serve on the higher levels, right? Let's motivate them, inspire them in some way, and send them on their way. But don't let the meeting drag on. Don't be like, is there anything else we should be talking about? What do you guys think? You're always going to have that high I in the group that just loves the social aspect of it, and they want to just keep hanging out. And I'm going, are we done? 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 Can we go? Can we go? Okay, be respectful of people's time. That's your RIM. RIM, recognition, information, motivation. Hold on. I'm going to post on LinkedIn. There we go. All right. So again, if you guys have questions as we go, please put it in the chat. There's a bunch of you watching brand new live and in person. We appreciate you. So nonverbal communication is so important, right? And let me just kind of go back there. If I come back here for a second, right? If I say to you guys like, "Hey guys, I'm really excited to be here today," with my arms at my side, or if there was a podium here and I'm grasping it like this, white knuckle, going, "I'm really excited to be here today. We love that we're supporting this event." Okay, I could do that, or I can go, "Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. This is Jeremiah's J-Man Monero, and I'm excited to be here today." Right? That's body language that demonstrates my excitement. Okay, so there's so many different things that you can do, and I was talking about it this week. Go back and watch Chris Farley, one of the best physical comedians you'll ever see. The body language tells a story. Who was the other person? I love this. It's Salvatore. Just 1 second. It is Salvatore Maniscalco. What is it? Sebastian Maniscalco. Yeah. I don't know why I always forget his name, but like when he tells the story, he almost acts it out, right? When he tells the story, he almost acts it out. And so that like the nonverbal side of it, or if I'm saying to you, let's connect the dots today. Let's bring everything together, right? Or if I say, "Man, I pulled the car over." See what I did? Pulled the car over. I get out of the car. Act it out. That nonverbal communication is so important because 65% of what we do is nonverbal. Like when people go, "I'm really excited." Well, you know what? You should tell your face that you're excited. Facial gestures, voice inflections are important. And then also what people don't think about, your clothing, your body posture, and your eye contact, right? Sometimes I'm sending a different message with my clothing, could be a distraction, or my body posture, or my eye contact, right? I can say, "Oh man, guys, hey, really excited to be here today." And it really is just I'm super nervous and I don't want to make eye contact because making eye contact with you makes me nervous. But eye contact with people as you, depending on the stage, right? If I was in a room of 500 people, I am going to make eye contact with groups or sections of people at a time. If I'm in a smaller setting of 15 people, then it's very easy to go one person, and I'm not going to go in an order: one person, two people, three people, like that. Like I'm going to randomly kind of, because then you're connecting with the audience, right? I like the upper right one there, power of nonverbal, right? Do's and don'ts. So use body language to make a point. Like I kind of just demonstrated that to you, but it's very important, right? When you're coming in and you're welcoming, and I'm going to go back over here again. I really need my stream deck. I feel lost without it. You're coming in here and I'm like, "Everybody, good morning, welcome. Good morning, welcome. So happy that you guys are here with me today." Okay, very different than hiding behind the lectern and going, like, see if I was down here. "Hey, everybody, I'm really happy for you guys to be here today." Very different experience. It's all in the details. And really, what can help you tremendously with this is have a friend of yours, every time you have the opportunity to speak, have them record you, because there's going to be little things that you do that you're not going to be aware of. Little things. And we're going to kind of dive even deeper with that right now. Don't fidget. And I'll give you a couple different examples of this. Guys with change and keys in your pocket, you will fidget and like it looks like you're playing pocket pool, right? You put your hand in your pocket, you're fidgeting with your keys, and it's just a nervous kind of a twitch. Pens, guys and gals are famous for that. You have a pen in your hand, you're going click, 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 until I'm like, "Stop it, please." Okay? Or if some of you have wedding rings that might be a little bit loose, You flip it like that, or you have bracelets or bangles that you just go like this as you're getting nervous. Or guys, the worst one for me is when you have a watch that doesn't fit right. Take a couple links out, make that bad boy fit nice and tight. But you go like this, and you keep going like that and sliding it back down because it's sliding up as you're speaking. All of those fidgets are a distraction, and they'll take away from your message. Okay, don't slouch. Sounds easy enough, but again, if I'm like this and I'm like, hey guys, like just big difference. Okay, posture up, baby, posture up. Even if if you do have to stand in a lectern, and I don't think there's any scenario where you have to stand at and we call it a lectern, not a podium, that you have to stand there. And actually, when I do the setup for events, I don't even want to have one on the stage. I want it off stage, or I want it set back from the edge of the stage because it can block visually from some of the people in the audience seeing the speaker. Okay? Don't hide behind the lectern like that. And do engage the audience, right? So a good way, you ask a question. Don't fill the gap with more words. If I say, hey guys, look at, what's one thing that you want to do better on when it comes to public speaking? See? The silence will bring a response. Okay, do's and don'ts. As you look at this, do use body language to make a point. Don't fidget. Use appropriate posture. Use the podium. Don't use the podium as a crutch. Do engage your audience when appropriate, but don't rely solely on your materials. So if I was in person and I was like, do use body language. Don't fidget. You've seen this. We call that death by PowerPoint. Your slides should also not be all words, right? There should be more image-based. There are times when you're giving what we call a course in a box or a presentation in a box that you're not allowed to modify as much as it might hurt your soul. And then you have to just black out the screen every once in a while, bring it to more group activities, bring it to you as the primary speaker, depending whether you're in person or online. Are you guys still there? If you're still there, somebody comment something, because it shows there's a bunch of you that are watching, but I'm not getting any kind of engagement. So just tell me whether you prefer coffee or tea, and I'll know that you're still there. Okay. Cool. I'm not getting anything. There we go. Hey, all right. Thank you, James. I'm here. All right, coffee. Sweet. You're going to here's my cup for the day. Coffee is for closers. Okay, so impromptu speaking. We have so many opportunities for this, right? As you're at anywhere in public, anytime, there's an opportunity for you to speak, right? There's an opportunity for you to, if here, we're going to kind of go through it, but your answer should always be yes. Like if you're a little bit nervous and apprehensive, I don't know. Somebody says, how's the market? Hey, do you want to talk on the real estate market? Hell yes. Yes, I do. Yes, yes, yes. My answer will always be yes. But here are some examples, right? Introducing yourself at networking events, whether that's business networking or real estate networking, because there still are opportunities to meet people from outside your real estate sphere, if you will, right? Filling in for a late speaker. You might be somewhere and they're like, Jay, Brian, Michael, Budu Khan, Chris Ann, Shay. Okay, speaker's not here yet. Can you go in and just talk about, for 10 minutes? What do you want me to talk about? Anything for 10 minutes. Okay, great. I will grab that mic. I will get up there and I will talk about something for 10 minutes. I will engage the audience, but it's your opportunity to shine. You may not have another opportunity like that. They could be few and far between, but the more you put yourselves in those public situations and the better prepared you are, the more likely it is to happen. Right? You're asked to give a toast at a party. Again, you could always go, here, bing, 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 bing. I have a toast. And you're going to say something profound. Every wedding you go to, you could say that, right? Just make sure you don't have a couple too many cocktails. You asked a question you did not prepare for while on a panel. I never want to know the questions while I'm on a panel. There's some people that are like, I need to know every question so they can prepare their responses. No, I don't. Okay, job interview questions. Hopefully, you guys don't need that. You're interviewed by a reporter. This is fantastic. We have a whole different spokesperson training on that. That's really great. You get pulled into a meeting to give an update. There's an unexpected pushback on your ideas at a meeting. You say a goodbye speech to a departing employee. Your college refers to you in the middle of a presentation for input. This could be any kind of event that you attend, right? Because I would do this, and I'd say, I'm always like polling the audience. Hey, Budu, tell me about the mortgage rates and how that's affecting your pre-quals that you're getting. And Budu's going to go, give me that mic, Jay. And he's see that's his opportunity to shine. Okay. Stick to the truth, share from your personal experience, and practice out loud. And what I mean by share from personal experience, it's like we have things that happen to us every day. Some of you may have heard, like I have a signature story I tell about goals, but goals are like slippery chicken, right? And then I tell the story of like how I was in the Chick-fil-A line, and then my chicken slid off my bread, and the bread went in between my console and my seat, and I still ate it. Okay, this is short, very short. I'm not telling the whole story to you guys. I still ate it, but I said goals are like slippery chicken because our goals don't always start out the way we seem, but when you stay committed, you're going to follow it through to the end. Okay, that crunchy chicken sandwich was not what I expected it to be, but I was committed to my goals. The FAT method of better improvisation. Number one, express your feeling about the topic. Somebody might ask you, oh, how do you feel about the real estate market? Woo-wee. Oh, glad you asked that. I was super excited. There are some incredible opportunities in the real estate market, right? Recently, we were working with a seller who didn't want to sell 6 months ago because they didn't know where they were going to go. But guess what? We were able to find them the home of their dreams on the water that they've always hoped for and help them make a move. So the real estate market, there's incredible opportunities for sellers, but also for buyers and sellers that are buying. See, when you think about real estate, think about the Monero team. We're your architects of the American dream. See, so I tied it back to a story. And again, I'm just improvising for you guys right now. But all of you have a relevant story, regardless of the topic. And sometimes it takes you just where's it tying back the story? Like you all have a story. It's just like, let me figure out how I'm going to tie that story back to the topic that was asked of me. Okay. Thanks, Michael. The actual speech. If somebody says and tells you that you're going to be delivering a speech, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is, the shorter it is, the more you should prepare, and actually, the more you should memorize. It should be pretty easy for you to memorize a speech of 10 minutes or less, right? Think if you're running for a board position or president or leadership position within any organization. I like to use Chamber of Commerce because that applies to any business person. And you get up there and it's you and another person, and that other person's at the podium and they're reading the speech like this. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the blah, 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 blah. And you get up there, no notes whatsoever, like, good morning, everybody. Jeremiah's J-Man Monero here. And you go right into it and you walk around and you engage the audience. They're going to be like, no brainer. I want the second guy that was prepared. But here's how it's broken down. There's the opener, the body, the speech, and the conclusion. So the opener draws them in. The opening of your speech should not be a reiteration of your bio or your intro, right? The purpose of a bio that you give to people when they introduce you is to edify who you are. It's if depending on what you're speaking on, that you're an authority, that they should pay attention. But then also part of that bio should help you to build rapport. If you've never heard my bio, at the end, it says, and his speaking career began in 1987 when he was the ring announcer of his elementary school circus. Ha, ha, ha. Okay? Because at the end, like in the beginning, it talks about, who I am, what I do, and how long I've been doing it. But at the end, it ties it back and it makes them feel about me a little bit more approachable. Always got a sense of humor. Maybe I should listen more. Okay. Sometimes you guys spend too much time trying to make them impressed with who you are, and that's not what you want. Okay. It is partly, but also like in those first minute or so, your goal is to draw them in. Your goal is to build rapport. Your goal is to build compliance, which will get them to listen to you further, right? So I might start with a story. And let's say for this, if I was talking about goals, and I'm gonna use that chicken story again, and I said, have you ever had a bad day? How about a bad day and you were extremely hungry? Everybody has had that, right? So now they're listening. Okay, that's me. 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 Right? Rather than saying, have you ever been on a boat in the middle of the ocean in a storm? No, 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 no. Right? Start with a story that's universal, that draws them in, that identifies a pain point that you might be addressing in your speech, and then get into your body. Okay. The body of your speech usually has three major parts. And again, let's say if I was talking about the real estate market, it might be first part has to do with sellers, second part has to do with buyers, third part might have to do with all consumers. Okay. And so you break it up into those three major parts, and then it's point with three subpoints. So for sellers, I might say sellers can buy now. Sellers can still get record prices for their home, and sellers can make a move to anywhere they want in the world. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go. Then you do three for buyers, and then you do three for the consumers. This keeps it organized. This keeps you from going, when you're in the buyer section, going back and talking about sellers. Keeps it well organized and has a very good flow to your actual speech. And then you need to achieve your purpose, whatever that purpose might be. We talked about that in the beginning. Is it to get them to take action? Is it to inspire? Is it to motivate? Is it to educate? There has to be a purpose, and then there should be a conclusion, right? You summarize everything that you're talking about, and then is it amuse, entertain, inspire, motivate, or actuate? Get them to take action. So at the end of this, I might be like, you know what? You too can be a good speaker. You too are meant to inspire and change lives. You too can do exactly what I'm doing with a little bit of practice, motivation, inspiration, and skill. Okay. And then get them to take action. So you got this. The anxiety side of this, it's 10%. Really it's 10% what happens to you, 80% of how you react, right? There are some things, normally I would ask, if we were in person, I'd say, what are you guys afraid of? Just put it in the chat right now. Put it in the comments. What are you afraid of when it comes to public speaking? Okay. Here's what I get all the time. Fear of being judged, fear of making a fool of yourself, comparing yourself to others. You're scared to not be prepared, and you don't have the confidence. A lot of this is in your head. Most of this, all of this. Okay. But you can help yourself be better in all of these things, right? People are going to judge you. Who cares? Okay. Fear of making a fool of yourself. You speak every day, so don't worry about it. Okay. Comparing yourself to others. And somebody said this to me earlier this week. They were like, man, I'm really scared if the person in front of me, if you're going back-to-back speeches or somebody speaking in front of you really crushes it, that makes them scared now. They have to be compared to that person. No, when somebody crushes it before me, I'm happy because now the crowd is at an all-time high. All I have to do is keep them there or take them to the next level, right? If somebody bombs in front of you, which some of you be like, oh, that was great. They really bombed. So if I bomb, we're at the same level. Nah, it's harder to bring people up than it is to bring them down. Okay. And you got to change your mindset and saying, well, here's the worst things that can happen. I always say, what if it happens better than you ever imagined? What if you go out there and you crush your speech? What if you go out there and somebody is so inspired that they take action and you change their life? Like, that should motivate you, right? Are they doing the 2 minutes? 2 minutes.
She'll intro you in 2 minutes.
Okay. I'll post a link in the chat. That's actually a behind the scenes look before I went on stage for I think it was Minneapolis. There's about 500 people in the audience. Okay, so here are some tips to do before you speak. Relax. Okay, that's going to be the hardest part for some of you. Some studies have shown, like, if you do power poses, if I did Superman or Superwoman like this, and some other, just search up power poses, but know the room. And what I say by know the room is you get there early. I try to get everywhere that I have to speak at least an hour beforehand, because if there's anything that I can do to change the room to make it better and make me more comfortable and make it better for engagement, I'm going to do that. Okay, if I'm the main speaker. Also, know the audience. So research the audience ahead of time. If I'm traveling to speak, I actually listen to the local news to see if anything's, and if there is a paper at my hotel, I'll read the paper too, to see if there's anything that's important or relevant that I need to know, but also will help me to build rapport. Like maybe their local college team just won something big. I might go, I'm like, go Hoosiers, go Indiana, right? And that like that right in the beginning will help to build rapport with the audience. But also, I like to walk and talk to people beforehand. And I never introduce myself as the speaker. I just kind of like to have conversations because that helps me feel more comfortable and it helps me to know the audience a little better. And when I get up there, they're going to know me a little bit better. I'm not just a stranger whose nickname is J-Man, who they automatically judged as being pompous because my nickname is J-Man. Okay, I'm telling you that happens a lot. You guys did it to me. You won't. Some of you will not admit that. So what to wear? Okay, don't dress like you're going to a picnic, but don't dress like you're going to church either. Typically, business professionals, good business casual, but one level above your audience is the level or the rule of thumb. So like if you're going to a beach-themed conference and everybody's wearing shorts and Hawaiian shirts, don't go in a full-out suit. It might be slacks and a polo shirt, right? You see here, it does say, but don't do what I do. I've developed a unique signature look with T-shirts and a suit. Okay, I will never wear jeans, unless you're Gary Vee or somebody who's really famous and can just show up the way they want. I wouldn't do that. Okay, but also don't overdo it on the makeup. Okay, you don't want to have too much jewelry. Anything that's shiny, ladies are guilty of this quite often. You might have buttons or bracelets or earrings or big hoop earring, things that are a distraction will take away from your message. They stop focusing on, right? And here we have the Mr. T, right? Some of you have the Mr. T starter kit. Keep it at home, okay? Yeah, I'm proud of all of your jewelry, but you don't need to bring it in to block out your message. Okay, next level stuff. Just before, there are some breathing exercises that you can do to help you regulate but speak clearly, vary the pitch and tone of your voice, vary the pace, speak naturally. Now, I have to, on occasion, I speak so fast that when I really want to make a point, or if I'm telling a story, where I tell the story of, our clients recently who just bought the home of their dreams on the water. I'll slow it down like that, and I'll even speak a little bit softer because what are you doing as I do that? You're leaning into the message, okay? Speak naturally. Filler words. This is going to be the hardest for all of us, and this is where when Mike said, he talked about, as I say, he talked about Toastmasters. Toastmasters is great for this, because they will track your filler words. So some of you may say, some may say so, like, are you with me, right? So you're going to figure out whatever that is and stop using it, okay? Or you might fill it with a different word. But it's just being aware that sometimes when you want to think about what you want to say, you just have to go and pause. You don't have to always fill it with sound. Okay, eye contact is important, but too much eye contact makes you look like a serial killer or a psychopath. Okay, finish on time. What that means is no matter what, no matter if you're not, like right now, I'm going to finish on time because I have to do something else at 10 o'clock virtually. I can't go over. But if it was in person, you cut to the finish. If there is a timekeeper, and you should have somebody keeping time for you, if you're not keeping time for yourself, they do have watches where you can have it vibrate when you have 2 minutes left or vibrate when you have 1 minute left. So now get to the closing. I don't care what other content you have. It's disrespectful for other speakers to go over. People get annoyed. Nobody cares that you have one more thing to cover because they're going to really be mad about the fact that you went over time and they have to get to an appointment. So that's it, folks. Supreme confidence is where we're finishing. Keep your stuff organized, know your key ideas, research and rehearse. Professionals plan, rehearse, and internalize the conversation. Amateurs go off and try to wing it. Okay, last thing you want to do is wing it because it'll show. Okay, when you go up and you see somebody who's really practiced and polished, and if have ever seen me speak, while many of the things that I do may seem like they're off the cuff, I promise you that everything that I do is strategic. Everything that I've planned, every activity that I've planned is for a certain purpose. So I believe in you guys. You just have to believe in yourself to know that you can take your speaking ability to the next level. I want to thank you for being here with me today, guys. And if you got any questions, put it in the comments. But I'm going to come back over here. And, this was a little bit more presentation style today, but I felt like it was relevant and important, and I want to help you guys be better, do better, and take your business to the next level. So 18 Fridays, Ask the Experts, Anything Meaningful Fridays, every Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Set your freaking alarm already, folks. You don't have to wait for my event. Just know that I'm going to be live on Facebook. I'm going to be live on LinkedIn. I'm going to be live on YouTube. And then we're going to post the playback on our IG, so you can subscribe there as well. Budu Khan, I miss you, man. Hope to see you soon down there in Long Island doing some mortgages. I appreciate you all. Let me see. I want to play some music on the way out. What are we going to do? Should we go back to... Oh, here. This is called Goliath. You ready? Yes. I want all of you to go forward and achieve your public speaking dreams. All right, guys.
Today's gonna be a good day. Gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. Gonna be a good day. Get the negativity out of my face. I want positivity in my space. Today's gonna be a good day. Gonna be a good day. I hope you have a good day. Have a good day.